Hi everyone, it's Lisa and welcome to Lisa's Stamp Studio. I'm continuing my series on Brusho, these watercolor crystals that interact with water. But today I'm going to teach you 3 other ways to use them that do not include water. They're including spray starch. I know you're probably thinking, spray starch? Yeah. I've laid a piece of parchment paper on top of my work surface to protect it. And since we're going to be doing several samples, I wanted to make sure I could easily pick it up and move on to the next one for you. This is also easy cleanup for you at home. I'm going to start by taking my spray starch. I'm going to just shake this up. I spent about $1.79 for this over at the drugstore. I'm sure you can get it a lot cheaper. And I am going to cover this piece of paper with spray starch. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to want to work in a ventilated area. And I'm going to use a little bit of the Brilliant Red, and I'm going to sprinkle that generously on here. Now remember, we talked about the hole. This one is such a strong color that I only poked one hole in the top of mine. So I'm going to go ahead and load this up with some red. This is going to last you a long time. I know we've talked about that before as well. And then this time it's the Gamboge, which is like an orange. Such a pretty mixture. I'm going to put that in there as well. You want to make sure that the entire piece of paper is either larger than what you're going to need, or you go edge to edge with your spray starch because you don't want to miss any of the cardstock. And then last but not least is yellow. I'm using watercolor paper today. I'm pulling off a piece of cling wrap, and you want it a lot larger than what you're going to need. And I'm going to lay that right over the top of this. And then I'm going to kind of squish it. What you're looking for is you're looking for all those creases. Now I've got one that's already done in a different color combination so you can see other things. I plan on using a dye on this when it's finished. I recommend letting it sit for about 30 to 45 minutes. I live in Florida and the humidity on a good day here takes it a little bit longer. So that's going to be the hardest part, is letting it sit and dry. But let me show you the finished one. Look at that. This one is with the Perusian blue and a little bit of the mossy green, and I even put in a little bit of the yellow. Isn't that amazing? Look at the texture and all the creases left by the wrap behind. Same colors, but look how different they are. And then I experimented with a darker shade as well. But I've got great news for you. You can get other textures too. This is a paper towel, and that is what I did on this one. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but I'm going to try to hold it up, and I have pictures over on my blog that'll show you the texture from the paper towel that's picked up on here. Try other things as well, such as bubble wrap, and you'll get all different types of texture. Now let me show you the other 2 ways with spray starch. Watercolor paper again, and this time I'm going to put the powder on all by itself on dry paper. So I'm going to put a little bit down here at the bottom, and I'm concentrating pretty much in the corner. I will tell you that you cannot entirely decide where it's going to go. It's going to have a mind of its own. Here's my spray starch all ready to go. I'm going to work here at the bottom, and I'm curling this up to protect my work surface. And look what happens. You're going to see that the color runs in the direction that the spray starch is in. But the great thing is you can add more. And you see the pigments from the other colors that are inside here, and you can even let it run. This is lots and lots of fun to create different types of backgrounds. What happens if we actually get the paper wet first and then sprinkle it? So we're going to add more spray starch. And because I've got yellow here that I didn't clean up, we're going to go ahead and use that. But watch how it changes. You're going to get a speckled look if you let it sit. More of a rocky kind of look. But isn't that neat? Lots of different ways to use your Brusho. I'm going to quickly cover these up because I have some that are dry that I want to show you. This one, I sprinkled the Brilliant Red on the watercolor paper, then used the spray starch and it splattered it across the paper. This one, I actually sprayed the starch on first, then sprinkled the powder. So you're going to see there's a distinct difference in the tone of how it turns out. And this one is a little bit of a blue. And so you have a lot of control with the spray starch nozzle if you want it to just kind of burst into a single location. And then of course, paper towel or plastic wrap to get different textures on your Brusho. I have a great tip for you next week regarding my last piece of the Brusho series. Thanks so much for joining me today, everyone. I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.